Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about getting evicted. I've had 2 clients over the years commit suicide, and 2 clients get in gun battles with the police, one in South Carolina not that long ago, and one in Phoenix. And in South Carolina, sadly, both police officers got seriously wounded. Of course, both the clients were killed. And there's absolutely no reason for that. The thing that the banks and their associated parties are great at is scaring people to death. No matter what I tell people, they believe that the sheriff is going to show up at any minute and throw them out on the street. And that is simply not true. No matter what state you're in, well, first of all, let me say that in this country, the only one that can order anybody to do anything is a judge. And the only one that can use force against people, of course, are the police. So before anybody can be evicted from their property, there has to be a court order. And no matter what state you're in, whether it's a judicial foreclosure state or a non-judicial foreclosure state, there has to be a separate, special legal proceeding, which is usually called an eviction proceeding. In California, it's called an unlawful detainer. In other states, it's called other things. And you have the legal right to have your case heard by a jury. If they try to get a court order without a jury, it's probably unconstitutional, because of course you have a right to a jury in the United States in legal cases. The banks will try to win their case by motions, but that can usually be pretty easily defeated. And once they know they're facing a jury, a lot of times they won't even proceed. So you don't need to be concerned until there's that court order. Not only that, but so what you should do if you're facing an eviction action is file a written demand for a jury. That's one of the first things you should do. The second thing you should do is file a bankruptcy. When you file a bankruptcy, you get what's called the automatic stay. And that immediately stops any other court action against you, including any eviction proceeding. And you can file a bankruptcy online, what's called a bare bones petition, which just is a short form asking for very basic information. And that can be done online in a matter of less than a half an hour. And all the bankruptcy courts, even with this virus, have a way to file what they call an emergency bankruptcy. Sometimes they do it by email. Sometimes they have a special internet procedure on their website. And the very minute you file that, any eviction or other legal proceeding or any effort to collect any money from you has to be stopped. And to tell you how serious the courts are about that, the banks, in a case called Sunquist, where California attorney Denise Henderson was involved, awarded the homeowners over $46 million because the banks violated what's called the automatic stay. So the courts take that automatic stay very seriously. And you can file a bankruptcy at any time. Maybe you don't want to wait until there's an eviction proceeding filed against you. It's important not to wait until there's a court order for an eviction, because then there is some law that says that you're not entitled to the bankruptcy stay. So you should file bankruptcy pretty much as soon as an eviction proceeding is filed against you, and that will stop anything. I probably don't have to tell you that people who have fought with the banks have had possession of their homes for years, often more than 10 years. And they've been living for free, which is really a benefit. So everything in life has pros and cons and good things and bad. And the good thing about the banks committing serious crimes against you is that you may have been living for free for many, many years and probably can continue to do so. So nobody needs to be committing suicide. I would highly recommend that you watch the documentary movie called The Con, C-O-N, which is available on the internet. And Ed can provide you with a link, or he probably has one on his website, or should put one on there. It costs $20. The last time I checked, sometimes they have specials for holidays and things. And you just watch it on the internet. It's about 5 hours long, and it tells the whole story. Sadly, it starts out with the story of Addie Polk, who did commit suicide, and tells her story as an example. I've gotten to know Patrick Lovell very well, who's the producer, and we've talked about doing a sequel, but his film has become very famous, and I'm very busy, and neither of us seem to have the time. But maybe someday we'll do that. And that's the first thing I would recommend you do to understand what the banks have done. And you, as much as you know, you will probably be surprised, because it's far worse than you can imagine. There was a study done in 2018 estimating that over 10,000 suicides have been linked to people losing their homes. So it really is that bad. And one of my first goals is to keep you alive and well and healthy. I strongly recommend that if you're afraid, you seek professional help. There's all kinds of counseling available on the internet. It's gotten very inexpensive because they do it remotely. And if you have any kind of insurance or Medicare, it's usually covered. And that will really help. And that's it for this video. But again, I'm happy to answer any questions. And again, I can be reached through Ed Vallejo and his website. And I've made my direct email and telephone available on the introductory video. And I will stop there. So stay well, please.